Okay, now let us start with our class. Today's topic is estimated cost sheet. Please write it down. Estimated cost sheet. Now, what is estimated cost sheet? Any idea? What is this concept mean?
Sir, estimated cost sheet is the cost sheet we prepared that cost sheet from the previous cost sheet
Yes,
from which
yes, absolutely right. Good. Basically, see, there are two types. Please write it down. There are two types of costing record: historical data, historical data or past record, historical data or past record, and based on historical data, we prepare the projected cost record. So historical data, we have the historical data because it is there, it is already there. So base and kindly please all of you please switch on your video please because we need to have a face-to-face interaction. And since I am
So
recording that
historical data and second.
projected data. Projected means say suppose up to 31st March we have some information. You agree with me? Up to 31st March we have some information. And today's month is today the current month is May. So up to 31st March, what data we had is called historical data. Is called historical data. Means the thing that has already been done, that has already occurred. This is called historical data. So based on this historical data, we need to prepare the estimated cost sheet. Okay, so there are few steps in estimated cost sheet. Please write it down. Step number one. Step number one. Prepare the cost sheet as usual. Prepare the cost sheet as usual. Number two. We will apply certain relationships. Certain relationships among elements of cost. Among elements of cost, unless otherwise specified. Unless otherwise specified. Number one, percentage of factory overhead, percentage of factory overhead on direct wages equal to factory overhead divided by direct wages into 100. So we have a percentage expressed in terms of direct wages. Got it?
স্যার লাস্ট পার্টটা তো একটু প্লিজ রিপিট করবেন?
Uh, the resultant equation is factory overhead divided by direct wages into 100. Means we are expressing factory overhead in terms of direct wages. Got it? So suppose in the future, if say presently I have established the relationship as a 10%. So in the future we have say if direct wages is given as say 30,000. So automatically factory overhead will become 10% of 30,000, that is 3,000. You agree with me or not? Tell me.
yes sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ইয়েস স্যার।
Yes, sir.
Then another relationship you write, number 2, percentage of direct expenses on direct wages. Percentage of direct expenses on direct wages equal to direct expense divided by direct wages into 100. Next, number 3. Percentage of administration overhead. Percentage of administration or general overhead on works cost. WORKS. Works cost equal to administration oblique general overhead divided by works cost into 100.
So can you repeat once more?
Yes. General overhead oblique administration overhead divided by works cost into 100. Okay. Then you
Yes, sir.
write the next relationship. Percentage of selling and distribution expenses on cost of goods sold. On cost of goods sold equal to selling and distribution expenses divided
So
by
percentage of selling and distribution
expenses
expense
divided by
uh,
on cost of goods sold, COGS, cost of goods sold. I have discussed this thing while just explaining the cost sheet concept. Okay. Now equal to, it will be what I was saying. I have forgotten what I was saying. Just repeat.
Selling and
Yes.
distribution overhead.
Yes, selling and distribution overhead divided by cost of goods sold.
Sir, cost of goods.
Yes, selling and distribution expenses divided by cost of goods sold into 100. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And lastly,
Yes, sir.
the last relationship you write percentage of profit on cost of sale. Percentage of profit on cost of sale equal to profit oblique loss divided by cost of sales into 100. So basically these are the relationships. Just go through it. After that I will add some more points. Just go through it for 1 minute. After that I will add more points.
Okay, sir.
Tom, can you repeat the first point, that is percentage of factory overhead? After that, is it written something else, that factory overhead on direct wages or not?
Factory overhead, I told you it is percentage of factory overhead on direct wages. So it will
Okay,
be
okay,
factory
okay.
overhead divided by direct wages into 100.
Okay, sir.
200.
Okay, now see. Basically, I have already discussed all the elements of cost, so you are aware of it. Now, suppose in some situation, say cost of goods sold is not given. Say cost of goods sold, we know how we arrive at cost of goods sold. Tom, you tell me how we arrive at cost of goods sold. How we arrive at cost of goods sold? That is my basic question. Dave, you tell me.
I am not sure, but let me try. Opening stock plus purchase plus direct wages minus closing stock is cost of goods sold.
No. We have the cost of production. How come this cost of production come from with work cost?
Cost of
Work-
production.
Yes, cost of, just let me finish. Cost of production is there. With cost of production, what we are doing? We are adding opening stock of finished good. Mind it, it is opening stock of finished good, not raw material. Opening stock of finished good, and we are deducting closing stock of finished good to arrive at cost of goods sold. Now, if there is no opening stock and closing stock of cost of closing stock of finished good, then we cannot have this cost of goods sold. Then we have to use this cost of production as cost of goods sold. You need to think rationally which element is given in the problem and which is not given. Say similarly, factory cost, we know with prime cost, we are adding all indirect expenses, and after that, if there is any opening WIP, we add opening WIP, and if there is any closing WIP, we deduct closing WIP to arrive at works cost. But if there is no opening WIP and closing WIP, then what happens? Then after adding this indirect expense with prime cost, the resultant figure automatically will be the works cost. We need to see what is given in the problem, and we have to act accordingly. Just see all these relationships for 1 minute. If you have any question up to this, please feel free to ask me. Because estimated cost sheet is not at all easy, and every time they give estimated cost sheet. Basically, see, you need to mug up the format of cost sheet. That is the first thing. There is no way out. I have given you the format of cost sheet. You have to understand each element of cost and how they arrive, which come first and which come last. These things you need to mug up. There is no way out. Okay. Now see, basically this relationship will hold true, but if in the exam some other relationship is given, means if they have specified otherwise, some other relationship, say if they say that say factory overhead is expressed as a percentage of this, then you have to follow that. I have given you the thumb rule, but if they say it won't happen, but if they given say factory overhead is expressed as a percentage of direct wages, then you have to follow that. First, if nothing is given, you have to follow this rule, and if they have specified in the exam some other relationship, you have to follow that relationship. But till now, see, I am teaching nearly 20 years, this I have not seen. But this thing happens in professional exam, so for your good, for your own sake, I am just narrating this thing. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And lastly, number 3 step you write. So far we have prepared the normal cost sheet, then we have established the relationship, and lastly comes the estimated cost sheet. You write preparation of estimated cost sheet. Okay. So let us start with a problem. Please pay attention on the screen. I'll present the screen. Can you see the problem? Tell me. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Basically, see, it's a master problem. If you understand how to solve this thing, you can solve any estimated cost. Basically, production, how much is given? See, try to understand the problem. Whenever any problem comes, don't panic. Try to analyze the problem step by step. First, you need to jot down that production is 1000 units. Okay. Then comes raw material consumed. Now see here, there is no opening stock or closing stock of raw material or purchase of raw material. The direct figure is raw material consumed. Then comes cost of direct labor, or you can say direct wages. Then comes work overhead expense. Then total general overhead expense. Then selling and distribution expense. And lastly, sale price for 800 units sold. That is, sale value is given as 1,12,640. So up to this, have you understood the concept or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
But there is a catch.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This
Yes, sir.
this is though the data seems very simple, it is not so simple, because you can see production is given as 1000 units. Okay, you can see production is given as 1000 units. Production is given as 1000 units, but units sold is given as 800 units. So how would you interpret the situation? Tell me.
Sir, production 1000 units,
And units
raw
sold.
material consumed.
Basically, I like to interpret this situation. Production is given as
Calculate the
1000.
prime cost.
No. Production is given
Sir-
as, just let me finish. Production is given as 1000 units, but units sold is 800 units. What it means?
So cost of production will be of 1000 units, but the selling, but after the cost of production, we have to reduce the 200 closing stock
Good.
closing stock
Excellent.
closing stock of
Excellent.
finished goods.
Yes,
Then
yes.
we can only get the leftover part, that is for the 800 units of sell
Good.
units.
Excellent. That's the answer I was expecting. So basically, up to cost of production, there will be no change. So we'll just sum up all these elements and divide this by 1000 units to get the cost of production per unit. So up to this, it is okay, I hope. And
Yes,
then
sir.
we need to deduct the closing stock, and the closing stock will be 200 units. And how to value that closing stock? See, here there is no question of your opening stock. No question of opening stock, so FIFO concept doesn't come. So whatever the closing stock remains, we need to value it at the current production cost. Whatever the production unit remains, that need to be valued at current production cost. You agree with me or not? Tell me.
Yes.
Because there is no question of opening stock, so FIFO concept doesn't come. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let us see the solution. You can see raw material consumed. We are just simply adding all these expenses, cost of production. Then we are deducting to this closing stock, that is 200 units, and at what rate? At 108. Is it clear or not? Why I am taking 108?
Yes. Price
Of
per unit
1000
or
units.
value down.
Yes,
1000
basically you see this
The cost of production will be of 1000 units.
1000.
Then after we will
Yes.
deduct the rest over the
Yes.
finished goods which are not sold.
Yes, production unit.
Price per unit are all getting added.
Yes, production unit is given as 1,08,000 total value, and cost of production is given. And unit we know is 1000 units, so cost of production
Divided
per
by
unit will be 108 per unit. Up to this, I think there is no confusion.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So
No, sir.
we deduct this closing stock valued at 108, so we have 21,600. So henceforth this 86,400 will not be divided by 1000, but will be divided by 800 units.
108.
So 8,600, 400, 86,400 divided by 800 units will give you 108. So basically after that, whatever value comes, you need to divide this thing by not 1000 units, but by 800 units. So sales value is given. So this is the profit. So first step is over. That is when output is 1000 units, we have computed the normal cost sheet based on historical data. Mind it, based on historical data. Okay.
Now we have to calculate the work overheads,
Now
right?
no. Now we have to establish this relationship. Just a second. Percentage of work overhead on direct labor. See this problem. Problem I have shared on the Google Classroom. You can download the problem. You can see work overhead. How much is given? Work overhead in this problem
40,000.
40,000, and direct wages. How much is given? Direct
20,000.
wages 20,000.
20,000.
So 40,000 divided by 20,000 into 100 comes 200%. Similarly, we have computed percentage of general overhead on work cost. So it comes 50. Just simply take the figure from the historical record, okay, and
Yes.
express in terms of relationship. Then comes percentage of selling and distribution expenses on on cost of goods sold. Here we have the cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold is given. Actually, yes, cost of goods sold. Just a minute. In this case, cost of goods sold is given as 86,400. So it is 86,400. So it is coming 18.5. And the profit, how much the profit is coming? Profit is coming as 10,240. So 10,240 divided by cost of sales. And what is the cost of sales? Cost of sales we have already calculated, 1,02,400. So we have computed
10%.
all the relationship among all the elements of cost. This is the second part. Up to this, you just see, you just pay attention on the screen, and if you have any question, feel free to ask me. Because as I told you, it's a master problem. If you can understand this problem, you can solve any problem on my estimated cost sheet by just a snap of your finger. Any question up to this?
No, sir. No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see the problem.
Calculate the prime
Yes.
cost and cost.
Yes, see the problem what is given. First part is given cost of raw material and direct labor. R2 means these are expected. These are expected to increase by how much? 10% and 15% over the previous year level. This is the previous year level, and this will increase by 10% and 15%. So 10% increase means 110 divided by 100 into. They have computed per unit basis. We can compute on the say total value basis also. So it will be 13.2. Direct labor will be similarly same percentage on direct labor per unit cost. It becomes 23. So prime cost becomes 36. Then comes work overhead, 200% of direct labor. How this 200% comes? We have established the relationship. And direct labor is 23. Direct labor is 23. So work overhead will become 46. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly,
Yes, sir.
general overhead 50% of work cost. Work cost we have computed, that is 82.20, so 50% becomes 51.10. Similarly, we can up to this we have the cost of production. We have the cost of production. Then comes selling and distribution overhead. That is, here there is no cost of there is no question of cost of goods sold, because there is no opening stock of finished goods, closing stock of finished goods. Why there is no opening stock of finished goods or closing stock of finished goods? Can you tell me?
Sir, it is a estimated cost
Good,
sheet.
good, good.
Where-
Excellent. That's the answer I wanted. Okay. So 18.5% of cost of goods sold. They have written cost of goods sold. Actually, it's basically cost of production. So apply this, and you have selling and distribution 22.80. So total cost comes 146.10. Now apply the percentage of profit on total cost. We have computed this thing. We have established that relationship. You see. Percentage of profit on cost we have computed 10%. So apply that percentage. So it will be 14.61. So price to be quoted is 160.71. This is the price. If there is any tender and you are estimating, so this is the price that you need to quote after adding profit. This is called markup price. So this they have computed on unit price basis, or alternatively You can compute it on the value basis also. Basically, I would request you to compute on the value basis as well as the unit basis also. Okay.
So we can do either one, or we have to do both the one.
You do both the thing, because in that case, assume unit is 1000 unit. Assume unit is 1000 unit and based on that you compute value basis plus unit basis. Depending on the problem, what they have asked for the quotation or from the value. Okay.
Sir, if there is no mention, sir, about unit, then we can
No,
only do about.
if there is no question of unit, then how can you do on unit basis? Then it has to be on this per unit basis. Then it has to be on per unit basis. So this is all about your estimated cost sheet. Any question? Feel free to ask me. Because after completing this costing part, today I will give you the basic concept of financial account. Basically, you see the problem. This is the problem. And in say in 2009 or 2007 this problem came twice, the same problem, and at that time the paper name was costing. There was a separate paper called costing, and they gave this problem in that paper. Okay, any questions?
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, just to recapitulate, first, you are all MBA students, so you are budding business manager. Now think from the point of view of application. Why this cost sheet is required? Dave, you tell me why this cost sheet is required.
For a manufacturing unit or a business person, the business person who is first of all getting the idea to launch a product in the market, he has to first of all get the estimated price to be quoted in the market to make the competitive to get into the competitive market, right? So he has to get the overall price quotation to whether the product he has to get the price quotation to make the product price and the costing and the price is to one made.
Just think, go slowly, go slow. Because suppose you are in front of an interview board, you are giving the interview. Suppose your academic record is excellent, and if you say you just stammer or you just become very much flustered, you will be automatically rejected.
So the business person have to get the idea to get the idea of the price of the competitive price and the product he will be launching and the cost of it to get the at least proportionate profit margin. Otherwise, he will not be able to penetrate the market and survive into the market.
Okay. Any other idea? Anyone add to?
So to have the knowledge actually so that they can supervise.
Okay.
And if their employees are mainly working, mainly to supervision.
Anyone who add to something, some new concept?
I would like to add one more point. The person who is making a new product and trying to launch a new product in the market, he has to make sure the cost will be as low as possible to make the price of the product just a little bit below the competitive price to penetrate the market.
Good.
Otherwise, if the price will be the same as competitive market, already the market leaders are capturing the market. So how will be the new market penetrator penetrate the market? He will not be able to penetrate the market, right? So he must make sure that he must be a little bit price conscious about the product, at least 2 to 3%. So then the consumer will be attracted to the product. If not, the product will be same price at 10 rupees or 10 rupees as the market leader, and same as you uh, joining the market and penetrating. So you will not be able to penetrate the market. You have
Okay.
to make sure that when the competitive price is of a product is 1,000 rupees, you are selling at 970 rupees at least.
Okay.
That the customer will be attracted to your product. That's all.
Okay. I got your point. It's very good. Anyone who wants to add more? After that, I will explain. Yes.
So
Sir,
to
if
know
we
the
know the
cost, Sunita,
बोलो ना
please.
बोलो ना बोलो ना समृद्धि तो बोलो ना
Sir, basically it helps to know the cost and it helps to maximize our profit.
Okay. Now, Sunita, you tell me.
Sir, if we create a cost sheet, then it helps to determine our cost of the product. And if on the basis of previous cost sheet, we create another estimated cost sheet, the estimated cost sheet can give us the price, new price, and if we uh, compare the cost sheet, then management can ascertain the inefficiency, if any, in the production, and the production also, the cost sheet also help to কষ্টটা কমাতে হেল্প করে যদি মানে প্রফিট বেশি করে
Try to converse in English because you have to face the
and
interview.
it also helps to hello
Yes. Yes. I am listening to you, Sunita. Yes.
hello sir
Yes, sir. Yes, Sunita.
hello
Yes. You are audible. Yes. Yes, Sunita, tell me. You are saying something. Tell me, please. I think she has some network issue. Okay. Now, basically, see, we are concerned with two type of pricing as Dave has discussed. Penetration pricing and scheming pricing. These are basically marketing concepts, but still it is required to be a business manager. Scheming pricing and penetration pricing. Now, what is penetration pricing? Means to keep your price as below as low as possible, so that you can have a toehold, just not a foothold, but a toehold in the market. That is penetration pricing. And scheming pricing, what it means, suppose your product is very novel, very new, unique product. In that case, you say charge a high price and scheme the market. Scheme the market. Say, I can give you an example. Say 10 years back, at that time, LG launched DVD recorder. DVD recorder. You know, DVD player, we can play the DVD. But
Yes, sir.
in that DVD recorder, the system was that you can capture the video from your TV. Okay, from your TV, or you can capture from any other source. And at that time, when they launched the product, it was around 10,000, costing around 10,000. So why would they charge at such a high price? Because it was novel. Because no company has dared to launch such a product. Okay. So basically two pricing are there, scheming pricing and penetration pricing. So as a cost manager, as a cost accountant or say MBA finance, you need to analyze your cost and see, say basically you will be a new entrant, so you need to estimate the cost and add the margin, and you need to keep your price at the minimum possible so that you can have a toehold in the market. This is number one. And number two, there are two elements of cost, fixed cost and variable cost. Variable cost is controllable, but fixed cost is not controllable. There are some costs you need to incur whether you run the business or not. These are fixed costs, okay? And basically, from the point of view of finance manager, we come across a concept called break even. Do you have any idea regarding this term, break even?
Yes, sir. The variable cost and the price charged is same.
Means the contribution. This comes from the concept of
Contribution.
marginal costing. Basically, it comes selling minus variable cost gives you contribution, and that contribution would be just enough to meet your fixed cost. Means at that point there will be no profit. There will be no profit or there will be no loss. Just your break even. Means only after break even, because in any interview they will ask you what is break even. Because only after break even you can start earning profit. You can start earning profit. Break even is the point where you just cover your fixed cost. So after this point you start earning profit. Okay. So basically actually it's a very amazing thing because no costing part is there, because there are concepts like marginal costing, standard costing. Why standard costing? There is a standard and we have the actual. After cost sheet is done, we need to compare the actual cost with standard to see the variance. Why this is required? To control the cost. Basic, actually they have given the basic knowledge in Macau's basic knowledge. Means you have understanding of the basic cost sheet. But how to control that cost? Because unless and until you prepare this budget and this standard costing, you don't have any grip over to control the cost. Okay. So basically these things are required to learn if you want to say pursue your career as a say cost accountant or a finance manager. Okay.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Do you have these chapters in third semester or fourth semester?
It is not there. Not there.
But these chapters are the basic part of any, take it a production or manufacturing sector or any sector. These are the basic things like the standard costing, the marginal costing, and the activity based
budgetary control,
activity based costing.
It is not there.
These are the base.
Actually, previously there was a costing paper in third semester and it was there, but unfortunately from 2018 they have revised the syllabus and it is not there. Now if you want to pursue a career as a finance manager, basically the trace is given on the share market, merger acquisition, etc. Because see, previously there was a chapter called financial management where you could learn say valuation, say what dividend, say valuation of dividend, say
WSCC.
capital structure of the company, then
Cost
cost of capital, leverage. So basically these things are not there, but they have incorporated this in third semester. If you take specialization as finance, these are there. If you take finance as specialization, but they have not given importance on this costing aspect. Actually, what can you do? Because there are some students who were coming from non-commerce background and they had problem to cope up with this situation. That I think that's why they have revised this syllabus. Okay, so basically, what is what they have done, we have to abide by that, no way out. So basically, the idea of this paper is to have a basic idea of this cost sheet. Simple cost sheet. You are a say finance manager, account executive comes to you and asks for the cost quotation. You will simply prepare the cost quotation without knowing the standard, without knowing say budget, or without say comparing with say, without having any idea on the cost control. Basically, based on these cost concept, you need to control the cost. Okay.
Sir, relating to your last explanation of market skimming product and penetrating product, can we just say that penetrating products are the cost leadership cost focused production,
yes,
cost focused producer,
basically,
and market skimmers are the niche
niche
producers.
product. Yes, you are good.
For example,
Yes, you are absolutely right. Niche market.
For example,
yes.
we can say the example as basically everyone will get this point. The Maruti Suzuki, all the products are cost focused, right? And the BMW, Mercedes are
Yes,
niche
good,
products.
good.
These products, the Mercedes, BMW products are just focused on 2% or 3% of the whole
Niche
community.
customer.
And
Niche customer means
very specific
a particular segment of the customer where you want to focus. Okay.
very
Just, for my curiosity, have you seen any regular ad of BMW on your TV?
No, the person
Because
who will buy BMW,
it is not there. It is not there because they know there are a few percentage of people who buy BMW. Okay.
Because there is a reason for that. Because BMW and Mercedes don't give advertisement in TV, because the person who will be eligible to buy the BMW is not going to sit in the front of the TV, right?
Basically, this ad you can see, basically if some niche product comes, you can see in CNBC TV 18 during business hours at 9 p.m. they have the show business hour. So basically if some niche say product or service targeted to the niche customer, you can see on that time slot. Okay. And you say
These are the parts of strategic management and marketing, upper marketing,
yes,
level.
Basically, actually, this MBA will give you a basic idea, but after having this MBA, you need to hone your skill. You need to learn yourself the basic concept. You need to teach yourself the basic concept because after your MBA is over, you have to compete with everybody from the finest B school. So in that case, so apart from your syllabus, you have to think beyond. You have to think out of the box so that you can develop your skill. Not only that, you say you are pursuing finance, you need to focus on finance. You need to think from the point of view of marketing also. Okay. So that's all
Yes,
for
sir.
that's all for today. So I think if any question, please ask me on question. Okay. So that's all for today. And in my next class, I will start with the basics of financial accounting. Okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you for the class. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.